right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mike, Play Fast Football. Today I'm going to take you through a couple of our drop 8 rotations when we are 3 high. So the last couple of years when I was a defense coordinator, we were 3 high defense, and we used a bunch of drop 8 stuff, especially versus intermediate or quick game, or a lot of times 3x1. Some of our checks would be our drop 8 stuff. So make sure you check out our partners, Game Strat, sideline replay company we use. I've used them at every school I've been at. Now that I'm a head coach again, I will pick them up and use them next year. Dome Hats, headwear company that supports Play Fast Football and all the schools that I've been at the last 15 years. This is a standard Dome Hats, fitted hat. Dome Hats logo, stock hats suck, so check out Dome Hats. Baker Sporting Goods, company we use for coaches gear, fan stores, players gear, spirit packs, our sideline gear, all the good stuff that you need for your program. Make sure you check out Baker Sporting Goods, modern football and analytics tool that helps coordinators make in-game adjustments, right? So you go into a game, you got game plans, things that the other team does, tendencies, and then as you start going through the game, you want to be able to match that up, make sure the tendencies are correct, make sure you know what you're doing, get instant feedback right away after each drive with, you know, stuff that you've already tagged instead of having to wait to halftime. So having an analytics tool that helps you make adjustments in-game is a big-time bonus. Check out Modern Football. And FlyRouteDrones, best teaching angles are drone angles. I love them for practice, 7-on-7, things that we do in the off-season. If you're fortunate enough to be able to use them at games, it's a lot easier than an end zone camera. I like the angle better. I like the teaching angle better. I like the setup better. Everything about it is better. Make sure you check out FlyRouteDrones. So when you're talking about drop 8 stuff, you know, I know a lot of people use drop 8 stuff. Some people aren't a fan of it. I'm a really big fan of it in high school. I don't worry so much about pressure on the quarterback all the time, because in high school, for the passing game that I have seen over the last 15 to 20 years when I've been calling defenses, or when I was a defensive coordinator the previous 4 years before this job, you see a lot of quick game, you see a lot of bubble screen, now screen, a lot of intermediate stuff to where you're probably not getting to the quarterback rushing 4 anyways. For me, my pressure philosophy is I'm okay dropping 8. I rarely rush 4. When I want to get after the quarterback, I'm going to send 5, 6, or 7. That's just the way I think, right? So I'm okay with drop 8 stuff. I'm okay with not always feeling like we're trying to impact and get after the quarterback. We have ways we can get after the quarterback when we need to. But for me, one of the things that I like about drop 8 coverages is we can flood out a 3x1 side, and when you're 3 high, you have multiple rotations to do that. So I'm changing the rotations, trying to make it, for the most part for us, it's 5 under, 3 deep in a lot of our drop 8 stuff predominantly. I like teaching the concept of 5 under, 3 deep. Now, there's some things, or down and distance situations, where I don't like being, you know, all the time 1 high, right? But it's a change up for us. It's something that we do, and it's something that I like to do, you know, throughout the course of the game, especially when the ball is getting out of the quarterback's hands quick. One of the other reasons I like it is it keeps us with underneath players that can keep their eyes on the quarterback. So one of the things I like to do in 3x1 is create some type of flooded coverage, where on the flooded side, we actually sometimes have better results when we teach our kids to just spot, drop, vision, and break, right? We're not really relating, you know, because we have an extra player, and instead of that hook curl player, curl flat player, we actually have a player in the flat, the curl, and the hook, right? So sometimes, depending on the types of kids we have, the type of quarterback we're playing, there's times where we can just spot, drop, vision, and break, or get a little bit deeper depending on down and distance and just vision and break, because now we keep our eyes on the quarterback. So when they try to extend or they get outside the pocket, we have players that are there, all right, to get the quarterback on the ground. So first one, all right, for me, I just call 3 safe. It's double safety rotation, right? So we're rotating double sky, however you want to look at it, all right? So we are rotating down, so the left safety is going to become a flat player to the weak side, right safety is going to become a curl flat player. That makes the middle safety deep middle player, corners are off a third, corners are off a third. So now the nickel becomes the curl player, the Mike becomes the hook player, and to this side, all right, we've created a flooded coverage where we've got a flat player, a curl player, and a hook player, right? So the flat player has to make sure he gets width to the flat. He's got to carry the wheels of 2 or 3 or whatever's going on, but the curl and the hook player, all right, I've done, depending on the player, depending on who we're playing, there's times where with the curl and hook player, I just make sure that the curl player is underneath number 2, play vision and break off the quarterback. The hook player is underneath 3, play vision and break off the quarterback. To the weak side, you still have hook curl and curl flat, right? You're trying to get 3 over 2 to that side. You're still playing deep third concepts, but to the strong trip side, you kind of flooded that side out. I have 3 underneath droppers for their 3 players. I have a flat player, a curl player, and a hook player. I have an extra dropper because I'm dropping 8, right? So the first rotation would be what we would call 3 safe, okay? The next rotation, and again, these are both, when we play a version of a buzz in 3 high, I use the middle safety as the buzz player. So what I did was I combined some buzz concepts with different concepts on the backside. All right, so if I call 3 bash, we're going to play buzz to the front side, so I'm going to take the middle safety down in between the mic and the nickel. The left safety, or the safety to the side of the passing strength, is going to rotate to the middle. All right, if I'm playing bash, I'm going to play sky to the backside, so the safety's down, the corner's off the third, that corner's off that third. That now makes the nickel the flat player. The middle safety buzzing down becomes the curl player, and the mic is still the strong side 3 hook player. So again, flood it out to the front side of 3x1. Flat player, curl player, hook player. To the weak side, that coverage is the same as we just played. So there's a hook curl guy with the will linebacker, curl flat guy with the safety, corner off the third. Okay, so that is what we would call 3 bash. If I called 3 back, okay, I would do the same thing to the front side. I would buzz, so bash is buzz and sky. All right, 3 back is buzz and cloud. So now if I wanted to call 3 back, the only thing I would change on the back side is I would make this a clouded side. So I would play the corner up and the safety off the third. All right, so it becomes almost like a cover 2 version of that side. So there's your flat player. All right, I like to do this when the single is somebody that gets a lot of gifts or a lot of access, or they like to throw quick pass, quick stuff to the single. Getting a guy up in his face kind of takes that away. I'm still in buzz to the front side, so it's the same rotation front side, but now with the buzz front side, I have 2 rotations backside, right? So I've got bash, which is buzz and sky, and then I have back, which is buzz and cloud. So now we're playing cloud to that side, all right, and we're playing buzz to the front side, all right? So that's 3 bash, 3 back buzz theories with the middle safety as the buzz player. Buzz means he's going inside the nickel and the mic. The way I teach him, sky means we're going outside the nickel. All right, so buzz for us is the middle safety doing it. All right, and it is, again, flooded out on that side. We also have a 3 kick version, all right, which most of you would probably consider 3 cloud, or however you want to, 3 roll, whatever you want to look at. All right, so we have a kick version where to the trips we put the corner down as the flat player. So that means the left safety is going to get over the outside third, the nickel. Right, so now to that side we've clouded it so that there's your flat player. All right, there's the third player. The middle safety now goes to the middle third. And then on the back side, all right, if we are running sky, corner is the backside third player, the safety is down. That keeps the will as a hook curl player there. And now on the front side, all right, you've got a flat player, a curl player, a hook player, all right, and you have now, again, created that flooded out version on the flat side to 3x1, all right, you've got the corner up. Again, I would do that if I'm seeing a lot of now screens, a lot of bubbles, I want to get up. Maybe number 1 is a good player that doesn't like people in his face, whatever the deal is. Maybe I have a corner that I like down more than I like off the third. Whatever the situation is, all right, it's another drop 8 rotation for us, 3 kick. We used to call it roll, now we call it 3 kick. So what I do in all of these is I make them all 3, so 3 safe, 3 bash, 3 back, 3 kick. Right, I do that so our players know, especially for the Mike linebacker, he knows with a 3 in front of it, it's going to be a drop 8. So most of our 3 deep stuff is all drop 8 coverages. That's the way I build it in. So when I put the 3 in front, that tells the Mike that he's actually going to be the strong side hook player, because I've tagged the coverages 3 safe, 3 bash, 3 kick, 3 back, whatever it is. So now the Mike knows. In our base stuff, in our 3 high, the Mike is a spy, add on 4th rusher. So as soon as we go to drop 8, the way I tell the Mike in my deal that he's a coverage player is I put a 3 in front of everything. Okay, so that would be a 3 kick. All right, and then the last one, all right, is our version, the way we can play Tampa. And again, it's still a 3 deep, however you want to look at it, it's still a 3 deep deal, right? So for us, the way we would play it, and the thing I like about it as a drop 8 deal, the thing I like about playing Tampa as a drop 8 is a lot of times people, when they see Tampa, especially in 3x1, they'll get 3 or somebody vertical to run the pole player out of the middle, and then they run a lot of digs and a lot of, intermediate crosses behind that, so that your curl player has to be really good at walling 2 and making sure 2 can't get into that dig, or he's got to almost carry him back, because if they take, for us, if we're playing Tampa traditional, there's your flag players. Safety's the outside third, safety's the outside third. There's what you would call your pole runner, right? Well, for us, it's really just a version of a 3 deep rotation, right? We just kept corners down. So now on this side, all right, there's your curl dropper, there's your hook dropper, all right, and on this side, there's your hook curl player, right? So we haven't really changed anything in the coverages. It's the same thing we've been doing. We just have both corners down. But now the way I teach Tampa to our guys in a drop 8 world, even if they run the pole player out and they try to throw intermediate or digs behind it, I still have an underneath hook player. So the thing I'm gaining by dropping 8 when we drop 8 in Tampa, in a traditional Tampa world, if you were rushing 4, okay, now what would happen is the pole runner, if he gets a 3 vertical, is run out, and now you have 1 hook curl player or 1 2-wall player on a side, and then a player to the other side, especially if the back is weak. A lot of times what I've seen that beats Tampa is somebody takes the pole runner out, and then they go intermediate with 1 or 2 digs into that window, because if you were rushing 4, you wouldn't have the mic in that hook. If you were playing Tampa, you would just have your 2 underneath droppers with the pole runner, right? So if 3 goes vertical and takes the pole runner out, now you've got to do a really good job with your wall 2 or that hook to curl player, whatever, you know, however you teach in your terminology. That wall 2 player now has to make sure he's inside of 2. Don't let 2, when he goes vertical behind him, you've got to now snap back to the quarterback and play off the QB, because a lot of the times in Tampa, all right, you'll get somebody taking the pole runner out, and then you'll get somebody running down in that soft spot there if my nickel or whoever the wall 2 player is doesn't do a good job of finding that route behind him. Because again, if I rush 4 and the mic wasn't there, right? So in a traditional Tampa world, if I didn't have the mic and I just had the pole runner, now the pole's gone, there comes that dig behind it, the will's too far over there. So those are some of the combinations, dagger style theories, whatever you want to look at, that have attacked Tampa. So what we do is we add the mic in it, flood out the coverage. So now I have an underneath player to help me with those digs and those things behind it, right? So for me, it's just kind of the part of the teaching process, right? Everything I tell you guys when I do videos, it's my philosophy, what I think, how I want to do things. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it the best. Yes, we are susceptible to different things. Guys will ask questions all the time. I don't like dropping 8. I don't like, it's your team, your philosophy, you guys coach. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of how we do things, right? So when we go from our base to our drop 8, I just put 3 safe, 3 bash, 3 back, 3 kick, okay? And then depending on terminology wise, all right, for me, either if I'm only going to carry Tampa as a drop 8, all right, then I might just say, hey, 3 Tampa to let our guys know that we're playing cloud. For us, Tampa would just mean the old Tampa 2 version. So the corners are up, the safeties are off the half, and for me in 3 high, the middle safety becomes the pole runner, right? That's really what Tampa becomes. It used to be the mic in the old days. All right, now you're seeing it more. For me in 3 high, it's the middle safety, or you're seeing all the NTT stuff that you see out there that's non-traditional Tampa, finding a way to get to Tampa without both corners. Maybe one side is corner, the other flat player is a D lineman dropping out, or the pole runner's coming from somewhere else, right? Tag to a lot of creepers, sims, different deals that are going on out there right now. So for me, traditional Tampa, corners are in the flat, safeties are off the half, my pole runner is the middle safety who is lined up in the middle of the field to begin with. So that's how we drop 8, that's our terminology, that's how I teach it. I love it for underneath stuff. I love it to flood a coverage out. I love it versus quick game and spacing and all the things that a lot of high school teams do. Obviously, it has its weaknesses. We're only sending 3, but it's there for a reason, all right? So hopefully this helps you guys out, helps you understand how I teach it, how we do it, the different rotations we use in 3 high. I'm sure you guys have your own way of doing it and probably a better way of doing it, but appreciate you being here. Appreciate everything you do for Play Fast. Remember, you won't play well until you play fast. See y'all next time.